What's good, people? We back with another video today, and of course, as you can tell by the intro, we got to talk about Kyler Murray, man. I mean, I was a year late. Last year, I thought he was going to be the MVP, and don't get me wrong, he was phenomenal last year as well. Balled out, got hurt towards the middle of the season. End of the season, kind of fell off because of injuries. But this year, man, rejuvenated is probably the best word to describe so many players on this offense that are balling out for the Cardinals. But we have to start with Kyler Murray, man, because he's a unicorn. I've never seen a player like him. I mean, you know, there's guys that can run around like Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick, but nobody has the arm talent that Kyler Murray has, with, you know, pairing with the rushing ability. He's a true unicorn, man. He's a superstar in the making. And this game against the Rams, you know, I picked the Rams in the spread. I thought the Rams were going to beat them. They beat them like the last 9 times or something. The Rams match up well against the Cardinals, or so I thought. You know, throw out all conventional knowledge that I had going into this game, because the Cardinals dominated both sides of the football. The Rams had 20 points, but really it was 13. They scored a touchdown with like a minute 14 left. They got dominated. This was really 34-13. Domination on both sides of the ball from the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, 24-32, 268 yards, 2 touchdown passes, as well as 40 rushing yards. I mean, Kyler has to be such an aggravating player to go against. There's a perfect play in this game that describes it. Rams think they covered everybody. They account for the running backs. You know what I'm saying? And Kyler Murray on 3rd and 16 is able to escape to his left and just do a little whoop, whoop, do a little shuck and jive on the guy and just run right past him and picks up 17 yards on the 3rd and 16, man. I mean, as a defender, that has to be just aggravating. Like, you probably want to punch Kyler after that, because he making y'all look silly, bruh. Kyler Murray makes defenses look silly, bro. He's a stud, man. He's the MVP through 4 weeks, and I know it's just 4 weeks. We have a ton more of the season to watch, of the season to go. So, but if he keeps this up, you know, if he stays healthy, if this offense stays healthy, if this defense stays healthy, man, I hope they all stay healthy, because the Cardinals, they might win the division. I had them 4th place in the division, but I still had them making the playoffs. They might just outright win this division, man. Just a phenomenal display from the Cardinals today, or yesterday rather. And we got to talk about all these weapons too, because of course Kyler is the driving force. He's the reason why the Cardinals are this good, but they have a ton of weapons too. Like, where did AJ Green come from, dude? AJ Green, Max Williams making plays, James Conner. These are 3 guys who so many people thought were over the hill or didn't have what it took to be a consistent threat in this league. Max Williams is a real player for them at tight end. James Conner had 2 rushing touchdowns. AJ Green had another one-on-one jump ball catch for a touchdown. 67 yards and a touchdown, 5 grabs for AJ Green. Max Williams had 66 yards, and it's really interesting. Max Williams is really a blocker, but you know, he's got some sure hands, man. And they were throwing it to him on screens, throwing it to him down the seam. You know, he's bulldozing over guys. Max Williams, man, is a lot of fun to watch. He had 66 yards and a touchdown. You know, James Conner, 50 yards on 18 carries. You know, not a great per carry average, but you have Chase Edmonds as well, who had 120 yards on 12 carries. James Conner had the 2 rushing touchdowns. He's such a moose. You can't bring him down with one guy. You need a whole team to take down James Conner, and that's just another element to this offense that, Edmonds will dance around you, make you look silly. Kyler will do the same thing. Hell, they even got Rondale Moore incorporated in the rushing game yesterday against the Rams. When they have James Conner, James Conner's rushing, he's bulldozing over dudes. He's pounding you. He's hurting you. He's physically hurting you, man. They have so much talent, and we didn't even talk about DeAndre Hopkins. We didn't even talk about DeAndre Hopkins yet, dude. 67 yards and 4 catches. Hopkins, of course, the number 1 receiver, a top 3 receiver in the league. Oh yeah, they have him too. Rondale Moore kind of had a quiet game. So did Christian Kirk. But you have those guys as well who have had phenomenal starts to the season. I mean, my goodness, man. This offense is loaded. And then Kliff Kingsbury. A lot of people had him on the hot seat, man, going into this year. I kind of held back because they were dealing with injuries last year. They were on their way to the playoffs. If they didn't, if Kyler didn't get hurt, they weren't dealing with some injuries. So I kind of held off on, this is the final year for Kliff Kingsbury. He's got to show something. But it was like they have too much talent to flop this year. You can't flop. You can't go like 6-7 wins. You gotta make the playoffs this year. Kliff Kingsbury has called great games, man. The Cardinals, as you saw in the intro, 30 plus points, 400 plus yards in every game so far this season. Against a Rams team that just held the Brady Buccaneers to 14 points when it mattered. To drop 37 on this Rams defense, man, is damn fucking incredible. Is impressive. Very impressive, man. This offense is so fun to watch. It's so fun to watch. And they play the 49ers next week. And Trey Lance is going to be starting. I told my friends this. Can you just think about the games that Kyler, Stafford, Lance, and Russell are going to have the next couple of years, man? The NFC West is easily, by far, my favorite division to watch, man. I love all 4 of these teams. Oh, man. And, it's not just the offense of the Cardinals. Like I said, they held the Rams to 13 points when it mattered. This defense is legit. Byron Murphy Jr., he needs to get his flowers. He needs to get his props, his respect. He's got 3 interceptions in 2 games. Picked off Matt Ryan on a deep ball to Deshaun Jackson, I think it was. Byron Murphy's a stud, man. Now, I think he's a slot corner. I'm not sure. I know he's played predominantly slot last year. I haven't been watching too closely on where he's been lined up. I'm going to take a look at that after this. But, yeah, man, Byron Murphy's a stud. They have the second best. They came into the game with the Rams with the second best third down defense in football, only allowing 26% of third downs to be converted against them. That's insane. They also had a great goal line stand. I think it was right before. No. I think it was in the second half. They had a great goal line stand against the Rams, and right afterwards, Chase Edmonds goes 50 yards right up the gut. I mean, the Cardinals can attack you in so many different ways. Marco Wilson had a pick that was called back for a really ticky-tack defensive pass interference. Or not pass interference, roughing the passer. Roughing the passer this year, quick segue, has been terrible. So many awful roughing calls. It's so annoying. But Marco Wilson, the rookie third-round pick, I think, who I was really high on, had a nice interception. He's uber athletic, traitsy guy who just needs to get coached up, and he's going to be a stud for them, man. I love Marco Wilson. I talked about this too in my top 5 favorite off-seasons video, highlighting the Cardinals. Rodney Hudson, man, has made a world of a difference for this offensive line, because you have a guy in Rodney Hudson who can call protections. You have a guy in Rodney Hudson who understands blitz concepts, and that helps Kyler Murray, being a young quarterback, of course, when you have a guy like that on your offensive line, that's such a tremendous help, man. Just adding to how much better the Cardinals have gotten in the offseason, man. Shout out to Steve Keim, by the way. Man, what else is there left to say? The offensive line, the receiving weapons, the running backs, Kyler, of course. The defense got better. And they're 4-0. The lone undefeated team in the NFC. Who could have predicted that? I was high on the Cardinals coming into the year. They've exceeded even my expectations, man. And I hope they keep it going, man. I hope they stay healthy. I hope Kliff keeps calling great games. I hope Kyler continues to ball out. Because this team is so fun to watch, man. And if this keeps up, there's no doubt in my mind that Kyler Murray is going to win MVP. Yeah, man. I think that's the video. Big respect to the Cardinals, man. They get the 49ers next week. I'm definitely watching that game. That's going to be so much fun. There's nothing better than NFC West head-to-head games, man. There really isn't. That's king in the NFL. So yeah, man. That's the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the noties. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Those links will be in the description below. Cards fans, let me know what you guys think to the season. A phenomenal start. I know y'all are happy. I'm actually thinking about going to the Cardinals-Browns game 2 weeks from now. Very, very interested in seeing Kyler Murray live against the Browns defense that's actually, out of nowhere, kind of stepped up, which is, really good to see. But, yeah, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. And see you on the next one.